Good morning. It's about 5:35 in the morning, and just making us a little breakfast. I'm gonna saute some mushrooms and throw some spinach in and some egg whites. Everything's loaded up pretty much. So I'm gonna meet Matt out on the highway around 6, headed to IDIDARIDE. Registration was at 8:30, so I got my packet, got my bike set up, and started rolling up the hill. There were lots of folks from Tallahassee, Team Zing, a bunch of folks from Epic, and just kind of hung around with them for a few minutes and then headed on over towards the starting gate. The start was kind of weird. There were lots of people gathered around, and they were trying to do rolling starts with 10 people every few minutes, but it didn't seem like anybody was really going, so I just took off, and there were enough people, I guess, heading out that I felt like that was okay. I was just sort of rolling slow at first. I thought that Matt and the guys would catch me pretty quickly, but I actually didn't end up running into them for a while, so I just kind of picked my way through the crowd. There were lots of people in the first sections of single track, so things got pretty clogged up. I could see a nice little line of people into the woods for a while here, so I made some moves, just sort of kind of try to keep not necessarily going fast, but just kind of trying to keep my pace up. And it was incredibly cold, and so I was just kind of struggling with my feet right away. My toes were numb, and by the time we got through this loop, which I think was around 8 miles or so, I just actually skipped the first sag stop, and really that was because I was cold, and I just didn't want to slow down. I had not really started even sweating yet, or at least I couldn't feel if I was sweating yet. So skipped sag 1. I'd met some guys from Warner Robins that were kind of pacing about the same way that I wanted to, and so I kept moving along. And the course was kind of different, or maybe somewhat in reverse from what it was last year, so I recognized a lot of things, but it was just from a different angle. So I just kind of moved along with these guys, and we kept working our way up, and when I got to sag 2, I ran into a bunch of folks from Tallahassee, Chris and Matt, actually both Matts, and kind of regrouped with them, and then took off from sag 2. Nice warm summer IDIDARIDE. By the time I pulled up to the lunch stop, I could no longer feel my feet in any way, and it was pretty much like pedaling 2 concrete blocks. So I was ready for a stop, but I was a little nervous about getting cold or just being unable to kind of get back going.
Oh yeah.
So I did stop, got a sandwich, met up with a few folks from Tallahassee, met up with Michael,
I suspect
a few of the guys from
it's
Brooksville
gonna be
Mafia,
15.
and tried to regroup.
Mikey, this kind of sucks. I ain't gonna lie.
Gotta show the swag. Gotta show the swag. Freaking frozen in.
This is a frozen one.
Definitely cool. It's also one of the I figured this guy's
We'll see you out there.
starting to get cold. Matthew!
You always catch me snacking.
And it is not warmed up. Sometimes I feel like it's got colder.
My hands are freezing right now, and I've got waterproof. Got it much so bad, and now I'm cold. It was 40 when we started. It's 35 right now.
Somewhere around 45 miles in, I just started to kind of drift back a little bit. I loved this section along the river, and I took some videos and stopped and took pictures and just tried to enjoy the scenery. Physically, I was just really in pain in terms of my feet and my hands. My toes were literally just tingling, or I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know if it's possible to get frostbite in Florida, but I was just kind of struggling with that. So I enjoyed taking some videos and just looking over some of the bluffs, and just backed off a little bit. I knew I had somewhere around 5-6 miles left. Ended up actually having more than that, but yeah, I just tried to kind of bring it home in the most positive way that I could.
Let's go.
I was like, I got deep in there, and I was like,
Are you videoing us talking to you?
the last sections were pretty tough, and I wasn't even sure I was going the right way. But I finished it up. It was a pretty melodramatic finish, but I was glad to be done.
Oh. Ah, that was bad.